And Fez, you haven't talked to Gino since you two had that fight, right?
Right, yeah. I've not spoke to him. I was glad when he went out of the pool.
And that's because he... What did he call you? Fag the shit eater? What did he call you?
It was something like that. And then we got into how he loves to yell that from the stage during his act.
Fez is a...
I think he yells it at audience members,
right,
not just me.
You have to explain yourself to people who aren't being able to read through this at home. So Gino uses what you call the other F word.
Yes.
Or I'm going to say it just so people can understand. Fag, as a lot of people do. A lot of people use that word, but it's so offensive to you that you guys end up having a fight.
Yeah, we had a big blowout on the air.
Oh, wow. Okay. He's pretty liberal with that word.
He is.
Yeah.
But I do have a feeling that him and Fez, if they just would put this one thing aside, would agree on so many other things and end up being friends.
This is a big roadblock between any sort of friendship between me and Gino Bisconte.
Yeah. Well...
I once saw Gino use that. He was hosting at the comic strip. He used that word 14 seconds into hosting the show. That was, ladies and gentlemen, welcome your host.
He's clever, Joe.
Well, he is clever. He's a smart guy, and he's clever, and he's quick.
He's a sweetheart if you get to know him.
He's a doll.
But he is liberal with that word.
I mean, if
you're
I didn't
offended
know,
by that word, I can see where you'd go
If
from.
I didn't know, I'd say Gino was gay. That's what a nice, sweet man that he is.
You know, there are some gay people that aren't nice.
Name one.
Jimmy Page. No.
That would have been amazing. I don't know if everyone knew this, but I'm gay. It's never come up all these years, has it? Stairway to Heaven was about me taking in the arse.
I've seen gay people being mean, bullying.
I've never seen one.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no. You know who gay people bully women? Those gay fashion people are like some of the meanest people that you'll ever see.
See, there you go.
They make women feel bad about themselves. Actually, the designers also make women feel bad about themselves.
See?
So yeah, gay people are awful. You're right, Joe. When you said that
I didn't say gay people are awful.
No, but you should say.
Wait a minute.
It's a good point.
We should round them up and put them in the internment camps.
You're gonna get me banned from ESPN.
Oh, boy, that was a misunderstanding, too. I didn't know that Artie was doing a lot of ESPN. I had no idea.
That's the best.
I guess, in a weird way, all of us are banned from ESPN.
Right.
Shit. They never have me on.
I was just with Artie the day before, 2 days before. I worked with him last weekend at Caroline's. Sweet guy,
and
not a racist.
He didn't seem like he was going to text anything crazy?
No.
Yeah.
No, he was just kind and funny and sweet.
Yeah, he is just an incredibly nice man.
Yeah.
And then he finds himself in another jam.
He gave me extra money for the gig. He said, "You're not getting paid now." He just handed me cash. Now there's a whole group of people that think he's a horrible person. Meanwhile, he's giving me money. How could you be a bad person and give me money?
That would be a great article that someone should write, is that he's a good person who helps out other comics and just said, look, you did more work than the club has recognized. Here's some extra money.
It's a very thoughtful thing to do. Very
How many
sweet.
people have ever thought of that, even?
A few, but not many.
Most of them straight, obviously. Straight guys.
All straight.
Huh?
All straight.
All state.
You're in good hands with all straight men and women.
So, Fez, once something like that comes up, you can never forgive.
No, that just sticks in me.
Could you explain it to him that this word is offensive and he should think twice about using it?
I explained it to him, Joe, and he thinks, no, the way I use it is fine.
Oh, okay.
Everyone thinks they have the exception to the rule because, I don't mean it in a gay way.
Right.
Even though it's a slur against gays.
Of course.
And you're calling someone that name to degrade them.
Right.
He thinks he's exempt.
Mm-hmm. Last time I was here, I said the word. I was quoting a heckler. I hope that wasn't a huge problem.
As long as you're quoting someone.
Yeah, the guy yelled at me. He used it. But
that is right. I do remember that.
Yes.
And we all fell out because knowing inside Fez was boiling. Because did that word always anger you, or just recently?
It was. I noticed it so much more after I came out. I didn't realize how much it's in everyday language.
Right.
What about this?
I don't know if I've gone a day without hearing it.
Or saying it. But does this word bother you, though? Queersies? Like, I think that guy's a little queersy.
I'm not a fan of queersies.
Queersies sounds like something you go in with someone. We'll go in queersies together. You're going to buy a sandwich. We'll go queersies. We'll split a foot long.
Look, I'm starving. I don't want to go queersies with anybody today.
That's when you each eat from the other end, and then you kiss when you get in the middle.
That's
Queersies.
actually nice. That's
kind of sweet.
It's No Lady and a Tramp. You know, and so queersies you like or don't like?
Don't like queersies.
Pole smoker?
No.
Poofter?
No, I hate that.
Poofter doesn't even get used much outside of English, right?
Yeah, that's what they call gay people over there.
Poofter.
Yeah. A poofter.
Well, that just sounds like something that somebody fluffs your pillow. A poofter.
Yeah, the pillow being your ass cheeks. So that's the fun part, Fez. Now we could all sit and joke about it and be friends. You know what I mean? None of us have to find ourselves on the outside. You know?
I'm on the outside of that.
No, you're not. You're in the inside. Inside of the rectum.
Chris just likes using the British terms because then he can bring up the pack of cigarettes comment.
I think I think they're all English terms to begin with. These are terms that were brought over with the Mayflower or whatever.
Yeah, you talk about mean people.
Yeah.
He's English.
Oh, they're awful.
Jimmy
they're
Page.
Terrible.
Jimmy Page
Yeah.
ate kids.
Yeah. He ate kids, but straight kids, he said.
Yeah.
I only eat straight
Specified.
kids. Yeah.
He didn't want to like ruin his soul or innards with the gay children.
Well, what was that he used to... Who was the dark magician that he used to quote all the time? Remember?
Magic Johnson.
Sauron?
That's... Can I just say something that was racist, Joe?
You said- oh boy. Now I'm in trouble. There goes my ESPN work.
No. You're going to be... you know what? You'll be on Fox Sports.
They're going to keep this helmet from me if I win.
That's what Fox Sports ought to do, is name an Artie show. Well, remember when Artie got that other trouble for a sports show that he went on the HBO guys?
Oh, yeah. With,
And destroyed it first time, Joe Bucks.
Yeah.
It was great.
So you're happy now, Fez, that we've cleared all that up.
Yeah, those are the words we don't use.
Okay.
Those are the only words we don't use. Because I see you giggling when people drop the M-bomb. But that's because he's not, you know? That's the problem with it all. What words annoy you, Chris? Taxes?
Yeah, IRS.
Yeah.
Or police officers. Mail. I don't like the mail.
You know, a lot of people, if I remember being in a little kid, I think I was in first grade, and I repeated something that made my parents just start smacking me at the dinner table when I said this. The fuzz came to our school today. And I was eating dinner, and they both just started whacking me at the table because I had heard some other kids say it. But there's always shit that people say about cops, you know? Like, if you're a cop, you probably hear someone bad-mouthing cops every day.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, in college, like, I'd yell at the cops, I smell bacon.
That's
and I got like
great.
a big laugh at all
That's
my
great.
buddies, right? Like,
Yeah.
hey, I smell bacon.
Yeah.
And then they came, knocked on my door and said, excuse me, we don't appreciate that. And I was like, I didn't expect you guys to come over here. I look like an idiot.
Here's, yeah. No, I literally smell bacon. My friend's making it.
See?
Kingston, in New York, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, I have a question for Fezzy. You know how they throw the N-word around in the black community? I was just wondering if fags can call other fags fags.
They do.
Yes, they do. And I don't think that's a good idea either. And
But you never tell them how to live.
I've said before to gay people using that word that I hate that word. I wish we wouldn't use it because I think then it just gives other people outside of the community an excuse to use it. Where it's like, oh, if they hear us saying it, then it must be okay. I don't think it's taking the power back from the word. I think it's empowering the word.
I like to say anyone hanging out with gay guys is gay. That's my thing. You know what I mean? Who are they to say?
This guy, the caller, just used the word.
Yeah.
He said, "Is it okay if fags say fag?"
Right.
He just referred to gay people.
Yeah, he just wanted to.
But why
That was
didn't
not
he-
a legitimate question. He just wanted to be able to say the word 3 times and draw it out. The A lasted 3 seconds in that word.
If you say it 3 times in the mirror, they'll appear.
Yeah.
Although Fez would be saying it constantly, and it's never happened for him because he's a lonely, lonely boy.
That sounds like a Jimmy Page song.
Wish. Fez was telling me yesterday that in Times Square, some gay guys were coming up and handing out things, and he was loving it. He said, and it made me feel sad for him. He said, it gave me a chance to talk to gay people.
Oh, Jesus.
Because if he said, oh, where is this? What's going on with your play or whatever, he could. And I can't believe you live in the West Village. Mm-hmm. And you never talk to gay people?
No, I mean, well, this was a case yesterday in Times Square of gay guys coming up to me. They had a reason to talk to me.
But you live in an all-gay neighborhood. Go into a coffee shop or a bar. Go grab them. That would be the thing to do. And talk to gay people.
It's just not that easy.
I talk to gay people all the time.
I do too. I don't understand how you don't talk to gay people. First of all, I don't know how you shut them up. They're very, very talky.
They don't seem to be that interested in talking to me.
What is it about you? Maybe you look like a cop.
What about the grinder? That's a big thing, right?
I don't want to do anything anonymous like that.
You want to give it a try.
The Advice Show.
Why won't they? I like to say it's the Advice Show. It's the only place that the only show that the host gets advice, not gives it. This is like if Dr. Phil started the show and asked people to please help him. Please, I don't know what you have to do, but come on to the show and help me out a little bit. But you're saying they won't talk to you?
No.
Do you know why?
I don't know. There's something about me that's off-putting to them.
But do you ever say, what is it about me that's off-putting? Starting to get some information back?
Oh, no, I wouldn't have the nerve.
I would never say that to anybody.
And just say, look, I see that I'm not getting the response that I want.
Yeah.
Maybe you can help me in the future. See if I can change something about myself.
That's a mistake that comedians will make on stage. They're like, what wasn't funny about that? Or why aren't you guys laughing? You're like, never give them an opportunity to be like, well, you're not good. And you never any questions.
Just put your head down and barrel through that.
Yeah,
material.
that's what I do. I used to try to not do that, but
How long have you been doing stand-up?
14 years.
And now you're in a contest. You've been on Letterman, and now you're on a contest. I don't understand it.
Well, it's my 5th year in a row doing the contest, and I don't have a ton going on. I know I have some things. I did Letterman, and I have a hit podcast, and I'm here. I feel welcome here, which is nice. But I gotta, hopefully there's, maybe there's an industry type in the audience, and it's just fun. I'm hoping I can win.
What is your goal? Do you have an end goal where you'll say, now I do have something going on?
Well, I feel good. I'm making a living. I have the most money I've ever had, which is nice.
That's wonderful. To make a living at something you love.
Yeah, which I've been doing for a while, but now I have like a real living.
A real living.
Yeah. I would like to, my end goal is to perform for an audience of people that came to see me as opposed to came to see comedy.
Then I've made it now.
Yeah, I would like people to go, we're going to go see Joe List as opposed to we're going to go to the Comedy Cellar.
Not only that, to have the same people, so we hate comedy, but we're going to see Joe List.
We like what Joe List does. And money comes from that.
Yeah.
But I don't really have a lot of movie or celebrity aspirations, but enough money to take care of my parents, my girlfriend, and myself.
Take care of, like shoot them?
Yeah.
Okay, that's scary. Bob, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, Fez could talk to a gay guy the other day. That Mateo was in there. They could have a nice long discussion about him using that word.
At first, he said he was against it. So I thought we were on the same side there.
You never mentioned that. At first, you said he was against it?
Yeah.
Mateo's a sweetheart.
What do you say, buddy?
How you doing?
Yeah, he's going to be in the contest as well.
All right.
And coming in studio is Ricky Velez, part of the New York's Funniest.
Ricky,
Sorry.
don't
What are
worry
those
about
pants,
it.
Ricky?
What? These are some sweatpants, man. These are some sweatpants I got. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
They always say don't wear sweatpants to a movie because then you'll look like a fucking kid toucher. So one thing in the adult theaters, they would sometimes try to keep guys out who were wearing sweatpants.
Really?
Because they knew they were just going to jack on the floor.
Oh, wow.
By the way, did you see Jimmy Page as you walked in? Or?
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here today, huh?
Well, there's a lot going on. Jimmy Page is going to be part of New York's Funniest, and I don't know how he can't win this thing. That's crazy, though, to see Page, isn't it? Like, there's some people that are just so big that it doesn't seem. It seems weird to see him in a regular situation.
Yeah, I
feel
saw
similar.
Michael Jordan in a airport once. And
Is that right?
Yeah, and that was outrageous.
That
to me.
was, yeah,
That was
as
crazy.
weird as it gets to think Michael Jordan is just catching a plane.
Yeah, just
Have you ever been on the plane with someone like really famous like that, and everyone stops and looks at them as you're boarding the plane?
Yes.
It gets weird for them.
Yeah.
Who was your?
John Gruden was on a plane one time, and then
Yeah.
another time Hillary Swank was on a plane that I was on.
Too bad they weren't on together.
Yeah.
That would have been the best plane ride ever. You know, Gruden is so much bigger since he stopped his job, since he stopped coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And now they go, oh, don't you want to coach another team? And he's like, this is a lot easier. And a lot more people like me. They don't ask for me to be fired all the time.
Right.
Like they used to. New York's Funniest, you guys are involved in this. Caroline's on Broadway. Ricky, have you ever done this contest before?
I did it last year for the first time.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
You like a contest because some comedians don't.
I mean, everybody. It's not even really with each other. It's what you do up there. So
Yeah.
I can care less what it is. Yeah, it's fun. It's
great.
It's a great time. I mean, the crowd's probably going to be packed again.
Yeah.
And that room packed is my favorite room in the city.
Once it packs out like that,
Yeah.
it really does feel like show business.
It's
doesn't
crazy,
it?
yeah.
Let's go over here to Rich. Rich, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe the reason Fez hates that word so much is because he isn't comfortable with being gay, and like the gay comedian the other day, he was perfectly fine with it, so the word don't bother him. But I think Fez hates that he is one. and
What
that's why
word
he
are we
hates the word.
talking about?
The word fag. Fez hates the word fag. And you said anytime you hear it, Fez, it just stops the conversation for you.
Yeah, it
If it's
just
used
it
in any
stuns
way.
me.
It
It's like a
always
kick in the
has.
head.
Yeah.
See, this guy
No,
just did it too. He said he is
I
one.
know.
All these callers are using the word.
And it's just going right over Fez's head.
Very
Yeah.
rude.
So, yeah, no, only since you were gay, right?
Yeah.
Since you realized that you were gay. Before that, he was fine.
But do you understand, like, people used it when they were younger? Like, it had nothing to do with that?
I hate that argument that it
Yeah.
doesn't mean what it means.
Why do you hate that?
Because it's a cheap excuse to get to use it.
But
That's my problem with Gino Bisconte.
I just don't think when I was like 12 or any like
Yeah.
I knew what gay was or what it meant. It was just something that was said. But I understand what you say as well.
Well, I'm saying that there's adults that still use it, but use that excuse. Hey, we always said it when we were kids.
Oh, no,
that's fine. So it's fine to keep using it as an adult.
We used the N word when we were kids.
Me too.
It was real fun.
Me too. In my neighborhood,
right?
I don't know whether you're joking, but in my neighborhood we did. But in my neighborhood we did, and it took me a long time before I figured out, hey, that's a neighborhood thing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that
Because
could be a
later,
problem.
yeah, I remember where I was up in Canada, and people were like, "What? What did you just say?" And I go, "You know."
Right.
And they're like, and that was like the first time I had it pointed out to me.
Right.
You know?
My grandmother would start dropping it only when she was drunk.
Right.
The word never came
That's
out.
awesome.
But when she had too much goddamn Georgie,
Right.
she just started dropping M-bombs left and right.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was wild.
My grandmother was like that with flirting with me.
Say,
Only when she was drunk.
you know why? Because you were so attractive that she had to
I was
build
a-
up some courage.
Yeah, I was a sweet kid.
Yeah, sure. You were a knockout. I got baby pictures of you. You're phenomenal.
Amazing.
Bob in North Carolina.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Ronnie, I think the reason Fez doesn't like to communicate with gay people, once he gets give some oral sex or get some oral sex or get it in the shitter one good time, once he gets it in the shitter, he'll have plenty of things to talk about to gay people.
So do you think that's
That guy was a cartoon
I
character.
need something in my
Emily Sam
shitter.
just get off the phone. That was amazing. Foghorn Leghorn just called
shooting
in.
guns in the air?
Oh, wow.
Hey, I got an idea for you, rabbit. Does that help though, Fez? Or
No, that wasn't advice. That was helpful.
What's funny though, that guy obviously, whatever. But the only two people that haven't used the F word have been guys with deep Southern accents.
Right.
So we're really going against kind of stereotypes.
That's what we try to do with this show, is to just shine a light. We just shine a light. I don't know whether we can solve the problems, but we point them out.
Right.
And I think you feel better than you did earlier today, Fez, now that this has been discussed a little bit.
Well, I feel better getting my opinion out there, but it just brings in the trolls to use the word over and over
come
again.
on.
But
That makes short guys who live under bridges feel bad. They hate the T word.
But for all the trolls, that's also people going, boy, I got to be more sensitive about that word around people.
But do you realize that if they just got rid of that word, right, and started to call gay people another slang, right? Let's suppose they started calling them balloons. Before long, you'd hate the word balloon. It never can be around. It's never about any certain word, right? It's got to be about what people think, not what they say. You see where I'm coming from with that?
Yeah.
So, and I remember at one time, queer was a bad word, and then gays took it back, you know? And they started saying, we're queer nation, blah, blah, blah. And now no one's offended by queer. So it can never be a word.
So pick your poison.
Yeah, you're upset about something where people think a certain way about gays. And what's that way?
That they should be ostracized from society, that they should be put to death according to the Bible. That
But very few people follow the Bible.
Yeah.
And certainly none of our listeners. I think that's,
Did you hear that last guy?
yeah.
He can't read.
Yeah, I think the amount of people who really follow the Bible tight is way less than 1% of 1%.
Well, even the people that follow it like to harp on that one line out of Leviticus instead of everything else that's in there.
Yeah, but they don't use it to kill people.
But even that, like, honestly, I was a Sunday school teacher at one point in my life, and, like, I don't even know that part of it. Like, it wasn't even something we were taught. It wasn't like, oh, if you're gay. It just wasn't even brought up. It just wasn't even a thing.
What religion did you grow up
A Catholic. Yeah.
So, Catholics are not as hardcore about even following the Bible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Catholics would actually say this to us when we'd ask questions about the Bible. The priest would say, look.
No, it was community service that I was doing.
Oh,
I'm just letting
but a priest
pick to do this.
But a priest would say to you, we got it. You don't need to look into that book. We're going to tell you how to keep it together. They didn't want us overly reading it and asking a bunch of questions. Just stand up, kneel down, genuflect, get out of there.
That's the whole religion is based on not asking questions, it seems like.
Faith.
Yeah.
Faith is you can't prove it, but you follow it.
Right.
Now, your community service was teaching Sunday school?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
What did you do to get in trouble?
I did a couple things. The graffiti, the rest of that, the whole nonsense. But you had to do it to graduate from my school. And my mom was a Sunday school teacher, and she was like, Ricky, you can knock this out just doing Sundays. And, like, I thought that was a great idea, senior year of high school, just boozing every Saturday and then showing up to Sunday school. And they actually fired me because they tried to give me the mentally handicapped class, and I was like, I can't do that. Like, I can't take this class. And they fired me.
Fired as a Sunday school teacher.
Yeah, I feel like that's the Lord's job, if anybody.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have taken that out of my hands. But it's what happened.
Let's go to Mick. Mick, you're on the Run and Fez show.
Is dick detective an acceptable term for the F word, Fez?
No, it's just trying to say the F word in a different way.
Dick detective?
Dick detective.
I think he had something else on his mind and it just came out dick detective. Because that one wasn't even that clever.
Yeah, that guy bombed.
He just got the light.
He struggled. You know,
But a detective used to be called a dick, right?
But there's still something I think he could build on there. If he just works it, calls a couple other shows, you know.
I would have run it on some local radio first.
Workshop that thing.
Yeah, I would have.
You just don't call into Sirius with your B material.
Yeah, call an AM station, see how that's working, you know.
But to your point, Ron, it's not the word; it's the intention. It's the malice. So, but queer could still be bad. If someone was like, "Shut up, queer," that word would be offensive because it's all an intention. And
exactly, that's why homosexual okay, homo not.
Right
now, there's nothing about
homo.
Yeah,
you can't say like I have gay friends, and he's a homo. Like, is that taken as? Would you take that as a
homo? Sounds like an insult.
Sounds like we keep saying sounds like.
Homo is an insult, where homosexual is fine.
Okay, all right.
Well, what makes it an insult?
Because it's never used in any sort of complimentary or nice way.
I think the in front of it. In front of anything. A gay, a homo.
I'm friends with a gay.
Right.
You know what I mean? That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it makes it separates. It's a different, something. I don't know.
And that's the whole thing. You don't want to feel separate. You want to feel included.
Well, you don't want to feel less than human.
But I feel like every race deals with this to a point, and every race, every type of person deals with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
like, I don't see Irish people being mad that they're called mix, but that might be just because things go pretty well for them.
Yeah, maybe when the Irish were, I think, enslaved at one point. It might have been tough then, but now.
Like, Cracker or Honky never made any little white kid cry.
Right.
Almost like being
I don't know about that.
You think they did?
I went to I'm a Irish, English, and Puerto Rican. That's my mix.
Right.
So I literally went to all black schools and the rest of that, and it was just you can't. I mean, being a white kid in a black neighborhood, when that comes at you and you're getting that every day, it's the same thing.
Because remember, redneck used to be the worst thing. You're basically saying poor, dumb, your neck is red from working in the fields. And then I guess Foxworthy is the guy who turned it around. And now people are like, rich people are like, we're a bunch of rednecks on this yacht. They just love calling themselves rednecks.
It's just white trash.
Yeah. But even white trash.
That one hurts.
Yeah.
I feel like if you get called that with meaning, it's the worst thing. Well, you're white trash. That hurts.
White trash is offensive because that implies that anything not white is trash. Does it not?
Yes.
We're white trash.
Yeah, it's like you shouldn't even be trash.
Right.
But you've lowered yourself to trash.
Right. These other races, trash.
Yeah.
We're white trash. Can you believe it?
Now, Fez, what would annoy you more? White trash? Or homo trash?
Homo trash would offend me more.
See? All right. Now I understand it. Now I got it. Let's go over here to, here's Paul. Paul, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, I used to listen to a radio show, and there was a drop, and it may still be out there, but one of the radio hosts would say, "It's the faggot of the opera." Remember that?
Fez.
Yeah. Paul's got gay breaking news here.
But the point was you did say that, and I remember to make fun of a producer we had, but you didn't know you were gay then.
I didn't know I was gay then, and then also I apologized for it later on.
And that makes it okay?
Well, I apologized for it, and I quit using the word.
I think that works.
I don't know. Maybe somebody heard that night. Maybe a young teen heard, said, "Oh my God, then they hung themselves." No, I don't think that happened. But, I mean, if the words were so dangerous, who knows? I think most words are not as dangerous as people let on. Jeff in New Hampshire.
$1 million, Ronnie.
Yeah, $1 million.
Hey, Fezzy, I got a question for you, and it's a serious question. Now, have you actually had gay sex?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
You know that, so go ahead to get to the point.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, how do you know that you're a homosexual if you've never... It's like calling yourself a fisherman, but you've never baited a hook.
Did you know you like girls before you had sex with one?
Yeah, terrible argument.
No, I wasn't
You didn't know?
But Fezzy, instead of calling yourself a homosexual, why don't you just call yourself an effeminate asexual?
You don't get to pick what I call myself.
This is his life. You really don't get to choose.
And you like to call yourself gay?
Yeah, I like
That's
the
the
term
fun
gay.
part.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever like to? And by the way, I think that Fez may be a lot of things, but effeminate is not one of them.
No, I don't come off that way.
No, you don't.
No,
That's
not the
why
way I could put away a steak or anything like that. There's
Or wearing the same shirt every day for a year. You know what I mean? A lot of women would probably say I would never do that.
Yeah, I don't have, from the mustache and everything else, I don't have many feminine qualities.
That means you got a lot of testosterone, right?
Oh,
the
yeah.
mustache like you have.
That and the back hair.
All right. So, boom. I just got a big thumbs up from Chris. I have no idea why. Is he saying something to you, Fez?
No, he's not.
You have to use the microphone or come in here for us to understand you, Chris.
Oh, Joe Coy is here today.
What do you guys know Joe? Very, very funny.
Yeah, I know who he is. I don't think
I met him one time.
Well, let's bring him in to say hi.
The Ron and Fez Show welcomes the participating members of the 2014 New York Comedy Festival.
Joe Coy.
Hello.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you.
It's been a long time since you've been back on the East Coast.
I know. I can tell by how cold it is in New York by the very thin scarf that you're wearing today.
Well, you know what? That is my way of saying I recognize that
that it's freezing cold.
Yes.
Where's my linen scarf? My neck is kind of cold.
And I liked it that you've come rocking some kind of Yankees wear.
You know, I kiss ass every city I go to. I'm not going to throw. I learned that once when I walked out with my team on into a city, and then it's just like conversation I don't want to have.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I don't even know the players on the Dodgers, so why are we going into this? So it's just the city I'm from.
So when you wear that hat out, the audience immediately says he's one of us.
Yeah, I'm a New Yorker.
100% New Yorker.
100%. Look at me.
New York Comedy Festival. Joe Coy is here.
Joe Coy is going to be at Gotham Comedy Club in New York City.
How dare you start talking without even saying hi to me?
Hello, Joe Coy.
Finally, make it personal. I miss you.
I miss you too.
You know,
Thank you for being here.
We were just in a big Fez conversation before you got here. Yeah. He was unhappy, and
that's regular.
Yeah,
that's Fez.
Yeah,
I love you.
But go ahead, Fez. Do your plug.
Joe's going to be at Gotham Comedy Club tonight through Sunday, November 9th. So tonight through the rest of the weekend, GothamComedyClub.com for tickets and more information there.
And introduce him around.
Joe Coy, Joe List.
Hi, Joe.
Couple of Joes.
Hi, nice to meet you. I think we might have done a college together like 10 years ago.
Yes.
Somewhere. I can't remember where, though.
Are you pretending you remember that, or do you actually remember?
I'm pretty sure the college scene.
I don't trust them since the hat conversation.
I remember now.
I vaguely remember myself. I might have been in Western Mass. I can't remember.
It was definitely a student union or a unfilled theater.
Somewhere we did a school.
And Joe, this is Ricky Velez.
Hello, Ricky.
Now, these guys, of course, are part of the New York's Funniest contest taking place at Caroline's. Did you ever like comedy contest or annoy you?
No, I when I first started in 1989, when I first started, I did of course, they put these contests on the worst days. So, my contest was on April Fool's Day. Mm-hmm. So, it's the biggest fool is the name of the contest.
Yeah.
And, of course, I lost. And the winner was named the biggest fool, but I was the biggest fool. Like, I no laughs. I couldn't get off stage. I didn't know how to get off stage at that point. You know what I mean? Like, I'm bombing so bad, but I didn't know what the light was. It was my first time ever on stage. So I'm just standing.
You went straight into competition.
Yeah, right into competition. Never did stand-up ever.
Amazing.
And just bombing horribly. And I remember the guy on the side like, hey, come on. Just like fanning me over like, hey, let's go. I'm like, nah, I got a couple more. I got a couple more zingers.
Like, I got this.
Yeah, I love this.
I always like when they do it, like somebody who's never done stand up before, and then there's a contest for like funniest in the state, and they go, you know what, I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah,
I think just sitting here at my job, I might be the funniest person in the state.
Yeah,
That's like the guy.
Oh, go ahead.
That's like the guy with the dick detective joke that called in. He's like, I got a good one here. Nothing.
Someday, it'll work out for him though. But how long before you found your voice?
It took me about, oh my gosh. I started doing stand up for about like 6 years, but then it was just right, I really didn't know what I was talking about. And it was right when I got my son, like right when I got then I was like talking about him a lot, and I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. Like now I have something to talk about, something that's personal, and that's where it all took off for me.
It's really funny.
Where I enjoyed talking about what I was talking about.
I don't know how many other professions does it take that long for the person to figure out who he is, but it does happen that way in stand-up. You could even be doing well for years and get laughs and everybody's booking you places, but until there's some spark where you're completely unique, then you go, okay, this is why I started doing this.
I didn't get it when like I was opening for comics, like headliners, and I'd have a great set, and then they pull me to the side. I was like, yeah, but who's Joe Coy? I'm like, man, he was just on stage. He just crushed, man. Yeah, but what are you talking about? You didn't hear it?
Yeah.
And then I finally got it. I was like, oh, now I understand. So it took a while. It was close to 10 years, man. Right around 10 years.
How about you,
is when it really came out.
When did you feel it?
I think probably 10 or 12 years. I think when I stopped drinking is when I started feeling like, oh, I think I get it now.
So the drinking was holding you back in terms of numbing you? Or?
I think in terms of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been sober?
Almost 2 years. I feel like I've been good at comedy for 2 years. But I made money before that. I had money. I paid my rent. Not my electricity, though.
But until you're
very dark in my house.
That was Footlocker.
Yeah.
Now, did you go off and quit on your own, or did you do it with other people?
I did it with other people.
Yeah.
I continue to do it with other people.
Yeah. Well, I should see you around then. Every once in a while.
I hope so.
But do you ever get up and talk there?
I do. Yes.
Now, do you go for laughs there?
I have a couple times, and like I think people were like, "That was a bit. He just did a bit." And so now I don't. I don't.
Isn't there like a comic one?
There probably is. I don't know. But not that I've been to.
That might not be the healthiest place to go.
Right.
No.
You're up there qualifying and you get the light. It's not working for you.
And I'll be at the Comedy Cellar Thursday at 10. Thank you.
But it is a very funny thing when people use that occasion to entertain.
Yeah.
And they'll come up like, I think I did all right there. That's not what this is about.
Right.
Joe, so how often do you get back to the East Coast?
New York once a year.
Just once a year.
Yeah, I need to come out more often.
You should.
But I'm too busy getting booked in Des Moines, Iowa.
Right.
You know, it's like, should I go? Like, I want to go to New York City, but I got to perform in Iowa. Next to House of Pancakes or whatever.
I think the last time we saw you, it might have been like January or February, and I remember we were trying to help Fez with his gayness that day, and right before you got here, we were just sitting here trying to all pitch in and give Fez advice again.
Yeah.
Because basically you were, I think, upset about the same things, right?
Oh, yeah, the use of the other F word was today's poison.
But what was it when Joe was here the last time?
I think that was
his mustache.
Yeah,
was it the mustache?
We focused on the mustache, so it's almost a year older since you've seen it.
Yeah, and it's a lot thicker and a lot gayer.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful mustache, Fez.
Thank you, Joe.
I will say this: there's a tin of green in it. Let me see.
He's been swimming.
It used to be white for a while.
It was white.
I think he's faking it. I really do, Fez.
Because if you want to pull on
it's
it,
definitely a real mustache, but it's half black, half white.
Right.
And are you dyeing it? Are you dyeing it?
Or is it one of those cookies? One of those New York cookies?
Oh yeah, those are
But
good.
really, what is this? This fucking Zen mustache that's half dark and half light.
I developed vitiligo on one side of my face.
Is that when a guy comes in you and then doesn't use a condom?
Yeah, vitiligo is when he doesn't pull out.
All right.
And it comes out of your nose.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, then
that's
I have
awful.
a different kind.
Awful. But you know what? Magic Johnson beat vitiligo. He had it, and everybody thought he was going to die. And look at him now; he's doing great. He owns movie theaters.
That's HIV.
Mm-hmm.
That's vitiligo.
Yeah, that's
That
that.
was the
That's
base
like,
thing.
Hi, vitiligo.
Hi,
HIV.
vitiligo.
HIV. For me. Fez, tell us, are you dyeing the left side of your mustache?
Just say it, and then everybody will be.
Listeners
cool with
want
it.
to know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. It is very natural.
What is
Green
vitiligo?
is not natural.
Vitiligo is when
That's what-
when Michael Jackson's
Yeah.
face started turning white.
Yes, I lost the pigment on this side of my face so that the hair that grows in there grows in pure white.
How did you lose the pig meat out of one side of your face?
Pigment.
Oh, I can't follow this conversation. But not all of your face, because your face has pigment.
Yeah, just in spots. Spots on my cheek, this side of my lip, a little bit up here in my eyebrow.
Let's see. Let me see.
There's
Oh, yeah.
I have a couple of white eyelashes.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Wow.
You know what I call that, though, Fez?
What?
Character.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You have a lot of character.
There's a lot of characters in here.
Yeah,
There's a lot of characters in here.
Say the
And
least.
that's-
But
by-
mostly on your face,
Yeah.
Fez.
Yeah.
By the
More
way, isn't that
character
what
there.
children want? To have a lot of character? Son, you have a lot of character.
Yeah.
And it's going to make the other kids taunt you and throw
Yeah.
things at you.
Yeah. Need vitiligo, kid.
Yeah. Now, you caught your vitiligo even though the doctor said you couldn't. I remember when he got it, he had passed out, we were in Florida, and he had passed out with his fucking drug addict drunk friends, right? And they let him lay in the sun for like 10 hours.
Dead.
No
Yeah,
protection.
just dead.
So he comes back in, I see him on a Monday, and just one side of his face had been like burnt. I'm like, why wouldn't someone throw a towel over you or drag you in the shade?
Because, what happened was when I passed out on a beach chair,
Yeah.
my head went like this.
Oh.
So one side got fried and it actually blistered over.
Oh, that's disgusting. I had that happen to my younger brother in the Dominican Republic, and it was just like it was boils
Oh, dude,
across
down
his
there you
shoulders.
can get burns like-
he was shot for the rest
Yeah.
of the vacation.
Oh my
it was
God.
the worst
I
thing I've
remember
ever seen in my life.
Down in that part of the world, because I was in Puerto Rico, and we were like diving, right? We were snorkeling. Underwater, I got the worst sunburn I ever had in my life. I don't know how people live there without just bursting into
because
flames.
they're dark.
Yeah.
That's
But that's like generations of it.
That's racist, Ricky.
They are made of leather.
Yeah.
They have
Literally.
Carhartt skin.
Yeah.
It's just
You meet an elderly person, you find out they're 15. Just like the sun beats on you. But Florida it can be bad too. And that's what you were laying out there, and then like, I don't know, people come and try to throw wet towels on you or something. And
How
pull
did
you
your
back in
friends
the
not
water.
put a towel on your
Because
face?
they're drug addicts.
I was heavier then.
They're drug addicts.
They were?
is why, yeah. Because what was what were you eating?
Roofies.
Okay.
Okay, that's not even a snack.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
How do you don't eat them? That's not like a bowl of roofies. Oh, I'm gonna munch on these guys.
pass these around.
Yeah, I'm
getting
dead
full.
real quick.
Another
Do you know where the
roofie?
roofies are?
They were like
I'm trying to lose
Altoids.
my what?
They were like Altoids.
Oh, were they?
Roofies smell like mint.
Both are curiously
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
But because of that, that's what you think you turned. Everything started to turn white.
Yeah, and it started in one tiny little spot on my cheek and just spread from there. Then it looked like the Hawaiian Islands.
Wow, it was a jizz pattern. What you're bringing up right now is a jizz pattern.
Shoot here.
Steve in New Orleans.
Hey, I don't even really think that Fez is gay. I mean,
Wow.
a year from now, he could announce that he's a brony.
Well, anyone can announce what they are a year from now.
A brownie?
Yeah.
What's a brownie?
It's a young Girl Scout, I believe. That's why you should never fuck up.
You don't believe you know. It's a young Girl Scout.
Yeah.
Guys that are hot for My Little Pony.
Oh, brony.
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 What's that?
Brony.
That's bros who like My Little Pony. They're kind of big bears.
Yeah.
And they dress up like My Little Pony. And then I guess then they make out with each other.
I don't know if they even hook up. It may be a thing where they just like to cuddle dressed as like My Little Pony stuffed animals.
Wow.
The cuddling.
I call that creepy.
Yeah.
That's what I call it.
Personally, I'd rather suck 2 cocks than fucking cuddle with anyone. That would be the worst. You know what I mean?
Get this brony out of here. Give me 2 cocks already.
I don't want to cuddle.
And pass over those roofies already.
Yeah.
I'm trying to suntan.
That could be your thing of just selling roofies to people and telling them to get a really deep tan.
Yeah.
On one side of them. Oh my God! The city got attacked.
See, we had to go on the air. We were doing radio in New York, so we had to go on the air and take phone calls, and people were looking for this and that. And I always remember we got off like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and 57th Street, right, was just empty. We'd never seen it before.
Wow.
Like you could have fucking laid down in the street and not worried about it. And we're just standing, and we're not used to this kind of quiet, and we just keep hearing this noise, like this weird clicking. And like we're looking around, and it was the street lights just changing. We had
Wow,
never
you could
heard
hear that.
that quiet. Yeah. So then we go walking down the street, and we're like, "This is so." And we'd just been on the air for I don't know 5-6 hours, and we're like heading to the subway to get in the subway, and we come around, and 2 cops were just holding on to each other, crying.
Oh, wow.
And we're like, "I've never felt this crazy." And I remember I looked over at the cops and I go, "What are you guys, fucking faggots?" And that got you. Remember that got you mad? Remember how that got you mad?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. I forgot all about the attacks at that point. My laser focus.
During that story, I was really getting emotional with that story, and then you said that.
Well, I had to stop it.
Okay.
But it was true that we saw 2 cops holding on to each other.
Yeah.
Obviously, they had lost people. But who in your life who gets to see cops just crying in a dead quiet street in New York? It's
Wait,
crazy.
you guys were on the night of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.